maybe you'd never fall for it, but imagine your mom or grandma getting a call from a person who knows their name, address, social security number, and demands they pay down a debt they don't remember owing or else. In that case, it's not hard to understand how a fake debt scam has stung hundreds of thousands of Americans and raked in over $5 million. But tonight, ABC's Brian Ross investigates.
What are you? Are you an
I am the guy who's going to end your life. That's who I am.
It was calls like this one in the middle of the night.
And if you refuse to answer the door to me, I guarantee you, I will wake up every neighbor in your entire building.
And this one, full of racist, profane threats.
Go back to Africa or some pick some cottons over there, bitch.
And many, many others that led to the new laws and crackdowns designed to end such outrageous tactics.
Why don't you just go jump in front of a train?
But authorities say that hasn't stopped this man and the people he works with from finding a new way to not only hound American consumers, but to get them to pay millions of dollars in debt they don't even owe. Phantom debt. I'm Brian Ross from ABC News. I want to talk to you about these charges involving fraud. Can we talk to you for a second? Can you explain what happened here?
I have written an attorney and I've got no more comments, please.
Can you explain what happened? This is what he does not want to talk about. The phone calls that hundreds of thousands of Americans have been getting. The callers, despite a heavy accent, often claiming to be American police officers.
My name is Officer William Johnson. I'm calling you from IC3, Internet Crime Complaint Center.
And the calls come at work and at home, sometimes dozens an hour.
You will be behind the bars for 6 months. And once you go behind the bars, you may lose your job. Once you're behind the bars, you won't get a single drop of water.
He kept telling me that this was going to be the worst nightmare of my life. And I just couldn't get it out of my mind. It was horrible.
The calls to Cindy Gervais of New Orleans started long after she and her husband had already paid off an online loan. But she was told, falsely, she still owed more.
And that I was no good deadbeat. And that I would have the worst. I would spend the night in jail and my family would be able to get me out.
So she sent them more than $1,800 to pay off a debt she did not owe. And the chairman of the Federal Trade Commission says Cindy Gervais is not alone in falling for the scheme.
We know these folks have collected at least $5 million from American consumers, that they've made at least 2.5 million phone calls to at least 600,000 different numbers.
Authorities say the scammers are so believable because they often have the victim's actual financial information.
Let me reveal the last four digits of your social. It's 9281.
It is information on consumers that authorities say the scammers buy from dishonest online loan brokers.
That information is on the internet and it's accessible to these scam artists.
That's what Mark MEROLA of Central Florida says happened to him, making him wonder at first that maybe he did still owe some money on an online loan, even though he didn't.
And he had a lot of information, personal information. And I'm saying, I'm going back, did I or didn't I? And at that point, I didn't know whether I did or not.
MEROLA recorded some of the calls and says, despite the heavy accent, he was worried the callers were, in fact, police officers threatening to arrest him.
Mark, this is Officer Jerry.
And he was making all kinds of accusations, telling me about how he's got these warrants, he's going to be in the store, he's going to do this, he's going to take me away. And I just, to the point where, I didn't want to embarrass my family, didn't want to embarrass myself.
So MEROLA paid the debt he did not owe, almost $600.
I got scared.
If someone tells you you're going to be arrested for not paying a debt, they're lying to you. There's no debtor's prison in the United States of America.
And the scammers can get away with it because they are well beyond the reach of American law. In India, where ABC News tracked some of the call centers to the city of Ahmedabad.
Because they're using what's known as VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol, it seems like they're calling from within the United States, even though they're calling from a back office in India.
When we went to the door of one of the corporations, identified by U.S. authorities as involved in the scam, employees told us they had no knowledge of any call centers and refused to let us inside.
Can you please switch off this first of all?
But federal authorities say the scam would not be possible without the help of American frontmen. including Kirit Patel of Tracy, California. The Federal Trade Commission says Patel set up the American corporations that collected the money from consumers and then sent at least $4 million on to India.
It is clear that Patel was integrally involved in this scam. Absolutely.
Patel has admitted he set up the American corporations, but denied knowing anything about the phone scam run out of India or the missing money from American victims.
I have no comments, sir. I have no comments.
What do you mean you have no? Do you have an apology?
I have no comments. I have written an attorney.
Where's the money? Can you tell us that?
I have no comments.
The Federal Trade Commission has now frozen Patel's bank accounts, and a criminal investigation is underway. But much of the money has already gone to India, well beyond the reach of American law, where federal authorities say it may have ended up in the hands of an Indian organized crime family.